and welcome to today's video. So today we're going to be doing a review of 3 separate books that I read in the month of January. We're going to go in the order that I rated them lowest to highest, and yeah. You'll just get to see some of my thoughts on some books. So, the first book was Depression and Other Things by Sabrina Benham. I think that's how you say her name. So I ended up giving this a 1 star. I really didn't enjoy it, but the whole reason I picked it up was because a few years ago, I had watched her perform a piece in this book. I think it was called like Explaining My Depression to My Mother. I think that's what it was. But I really enjoyed that piece, and I'll link the video if I can find it in the description below. And basically I really enjoyed it, and when I found out that she had a book, I really wanted to read it. My issue was I ended up only really liking like 3 poems in like the 70 pages that was the entirety of this book. And I also wanted to DNF this book like twice, but because of how short it was, I didn't want to. The reason I didn't like the rest of it was just was just because it felt like a teenager talking about like unrequited love and just like stuff of that like nature, and that didn't interest me, especially knowing that like it's coming from an adult woman. I don't know how old I'd like estimate or like assume, like 20s, 30s, somewhere around there. I'm not sure. But yeah, so having an adult woman, having an adult woman talk about unrequited love in a way that made it seem like an angsty teenager, not my thing. That's not to say that other people won't like it, just not my thing. So next is My Brother's Husband, Volume 1. So this follows the story of Mike, who is going to contemporary Tokyo to meet his husband's family, who he has never met and doesn't really know anything about it. And his husband Roji recently died, and Roji's brother, Yachi, I think is how you say his name, basically ends up taking him in and isn't very happy with it, mostly due to, like, the closeted gay culture, it seems like, and basically the story kind of follows Yachi figuring out what his feelings are in relation to his brother being gay, and just like, I think, gayness in general. And it also has a component of just like helping Kana understand what being gay means, and the way that they went about doing that I really enjoy. Just a little bit of caution, this is an adult manga simply because there are a few panels of nudity in it, which I didn't know going into it, but overall I really enjoyed the story. I think I gave this 4 stars, simply because it's a heartwarming story, and I think it's well done. The reason I don't think it's necessarily like 5-star zone is simply because if you are someone who is part of the LGBTQ community or know, like, anything about, like, gayness or anything like that. It seems to be, like, an educational, just, like, dip toe into water of, like, understanding that. So, if you already, like, have that, then you may not enjoy it as well. But I still really enjoyed it, and I definitely want to continue on with volume 2. The last book in this review video is When Stars Are Scattered by Omar Mohammed and Victoria Jameson, I think is the other. Yeah, I think that's who it is. Basically, this follows Omar's story of him and his brother living in a refugee camp. And they are Somalian refugees who end up in this refugee camp in, I believe, Kenya. And it follows, I think, 3 separate age ranges of, I want to say, like, around 5th grade, potentially 7th grade, I think, and then, like, 18, 19, like, high school-ish, like, senior, ages. And it is a graphic novel, and it is, like, directed more at children, but I still really enjoyed it, and I didn't feel like any sort of disconnect at all from it. It was also a really hard read, simply because of, like, learning more about refugee camps, because I'm aware that they have existed, and let's be real, they probably still do. But as far as what life in a refugee camp is actually like, having the insider perspective of Omar telling his story, it was so good, but it was so hard to, like, just see how life ended up working for different characters in the story. Honestly, I think that people should read this book. I really enjoyed it. It was engaging, and I think I read this in, like, 2 or 3 days. It is the length of, like, what is it? I want to say it's, like, 200 to 300-ish pages, something like that. So it's, like, a decent length. And I thought it was a good length for the story. I really enjoyed it. Honestly, it's probably gonna be one of my favorite books. I ended up giving it 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. Yeah. I gave it 5 stars. And honestly, if you guys want a story about refugees and what, like, a refugee camp is like, by all means, go check it out. Yeah, but those are the 3 books in this review. And I will see you guys next time in The Bear's Nook. Bye!